There we go. All right, cool. What's going on, guys? So today we are going back to a deck that I tried to play a couple weeks ago. We tried to play an Izzet Dragons Turns style deck a few weeks ago, and like I think we had like a 1-4 league. It wasn't that good. But tonight or today we're trying something a little different. Instead of it's still a Izzet Dragon style deck. Except we're going to be playing Thing in the Ice and Smoldering Egg in the same deck to see what they play like. I'm curious to see how they play together. Honestly, it might be a non-bow. I'm not really sure. This is something that I put a little bit together based off of historic and what historic looks like. So I took this and divide by zero seems like a really good card because it allows us to use the learn package out of our sideboard. The lesson learn package seems pretty cool. And I'm going to be playing Harness Lightning and Glimmer of Genius and Ether Hub to utilize the energy concept that came out in Kaladesh. So I don't know. This is what I put together. And interested to play a league with it and see what it looks like. Just really good cards put together over some time here. Niv Mizzet is a great finisher. Yeah, we're gonna play it and see what happens here. Why is why is there no volume? Something's going on. There's no volume coming from Moto right now, and I'm not sure why. Okay, there it is. This hand feels pretty good. We're gonna keep this. I think Gigantha means Niv Mizzet. We're on a mulligan to 6. Okay. This feels like carry added. We'll put that on the bottom. Divide by 0 feels pretty good. Foretell Allrun's Epiphany. Say go. Oh, chair came undone a little bit there. We're just gonna say go here. Okay. Hmm. Is this Jeskai Ascendancy maybe? Get environmental sciences and say go. I think it's important that we make our land drops. And we'll foretell another Epiphany and say go. Next turn, it is important to note that we can. Yeah, all right, I got it. Thank you. 1920, 1080, apply. Use expressive iteration here to help hit our land drops. We'll put this in our hand, put this on the bottom, exile this. We're just going to say go and hold up divide by 0 here because next turn we can slam Niv, and then the following turn we might be able to get into a spot where Anger of the Gods can help us pick off basically everything that they have. So it's a little greedy, and we're giving them a lot of life, which honestly I feel like I don't really care about that much. Okay. Makes a bunch of mana. Okay. Cards that draw them cards aren't really super imperative to me. I'm more concerned with stopping something that has a lot of action here because we have the long game play between Niv Mizzet and the Foretell cards. We have the long game plan here. They'll attack us to 16 here. Now they are going to have 5 cards in their hand next turn, so it is a little concerning. Slam Niv Mizzet here. And then depending on what happens, we can kind of just start taking extra turns and just starting adding a lot to the board. Mascot Exhibition will help us with that. Okay, make a bunch of mana. Play Treasure Cruise now. That's what it feels like he's doing. Yep. Niv Mizzet helping us out here a little bit. I guess Chain to the Rocks is probably like... Alright, I'm going to start hitting Omnath so that they can only play so many spells if they want to. Should have started with it last hit, just in case. Okay. Chain to the Rocks, Niv. Put Gigantha in their hand, okay. Yep, we go to 10. Play Niv number 2. Okay. Alright, so they're all gas from here. They don't have any lands. Opt will be a good one here. It'll help us really, like, if they start, like, casting spells that aren't Chain of the Rocks here to kill this, then, like, we'll definitely be able to pick off Omnath here. So they either drew the mountain for the turn. All right, yeah. So they had lands, they just didn't put it into play. I don't really understand their logic there, if I'm being honest. So it is just Sky Ascendancy, okay. Okay. So he just wanted to draw a card? Yep. Draw a card. Deal 1. Put that on the bottom. Deal 1. All right. Discard an island. Draw a card. Deal you a point. Play the mountain. Cast this, draw a card, take another turn. Discard that. One, two, three, four, five, six. I've already played a land, so I can't play that. So the play is hit you there. Put both of those on the bottom. Six, seven, eight. Cast opt. Put that on the bottom. Okay, and they concede. All right. So it took us a minute, but we got there. We finally got there. It took us a second, though. Okay. Don't feel like Soul Guide Lantern's great here. I feel like Mystical Dispute, Negate, and Ether Gust are all really good cards here. Harness Lightning can be good. Cut an Epiphany here. Cut an anger. Say we cut. I don't know, we'll leave one in just in case. Cut a couple of harness lightnings. We'll cut a glimmer. I don't really know what we're wanting to be cutting here, so we're just gonna try it like this and see what happens. We're gonna try it like this and see what happens. My cousin has a crazy, wild imagination. All right, did our opponent keep? All right, our opponent keeps their 7. We don't have a blue land. It'd be great if we had a blue land, but we're gonna have to mulligan this. We'll keep that, and we'll put the steam vents on the bottom. Am I getting like a lot of frame loss or something here? Interesting. Play Spire Bluff Canal, say go. We probably won't play Thing in the Ice on 2, which is kind of counterintuitive to what I'm used to doing. I lied. We're just going to jam it. Like if he plays Jeskai Ascendancy here, it's a mistake, but if he plays Omnath, then it's okay. We're just going to say go and hold up negate here. Our opponent has no reason to not think that we wouldn't have Mystical Dispute here. I mean, well, we did tap out last turn. All right, so I think we're just dead. I think we are, in fact, just dead here. Nope, cannot pay 3 for Mystical Dispute. I mean, if he doesn't have something else to do here, like if he doesn't... Oh, he left something on top, that's not good. Alright, so he's at 16, so... If he's discarding Growth Spiral, then he's got something to do, so... Puts one card on the bottom. Any spell wins the game here. Okay. Treasure Cruise? Is that what you were hanging on to? I mean, it makes sense. Like, Treasure Cruise is a good one to hang on to. Alright. Yeah, that kills us. I don't know if it actually killed us, but him drawing 3 cards was just going to be like... Was just probably just going to be good enough to close the game out there. I think we want to have as good a chance as possible as just dropping this on turn 2, dropping one of those on turn 2. I don't know. Let's try it like that. Maybe this is wrong, but we're gonna try it like this and see what happens. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to hold up the island here and make him think that maybe we have something. We know that we don't, but we were really hoping to like find an ether gust or something right there. Ether gust to negate a mystical dispute. Really, like any kind of counter spell. All right, we're gonna start trying to get everything going here. Put that into my hand. That on the bottom. Exile that. Okay. Puts Triome into the graveyard. He's not looking for lands. Iteration number 2. Okay. Okay. Don't really understand my opponent's logic to fetching before they did that. So it's going to bounce the egg back to my hand, which is fine. Cast the opt. Yep, bounce the egg. Put that on the bottom. Draw divide by 0. All right, let's try to end the game. We'll hold up our 2 counter spells here. They did not have counter magic there. All right, we're going to attack for 7. Foretell that. They more than likely know what it is, but we have Ether Gust and Negate here, so I feel pretty good about this. Okay. So they just don't have any counterplay in their hand? Or maybe they're holding it for our Alrund's Epiphany? Okay. Puts one card on top. So I think they have a counter spell, like they're just trying to bait us into like playing the Mystical Dispute or something. I'm gonna hold up Divide by Zero and Negate here. It's just a way to try and like guarantee closing out the game. Okay. Again, I don't really care about them. I don't really care that much about them drawing cards. Okay. I mean, you got 10 cards in your hand, but what are you going to do with them is the question. All right. Well, they just never really had any counterplay that game, which was kind of interesting. I was expecting them to have something there, I won't lie. Well, we start off 1-0 with the old Izzet turns deck. I'm not really sure what else to call it. Why am I getting so much latency right now? What do I have open that's causing latency? Task Manager. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Keeps saying that dropped frames detected. Okay, I don't know, that's weird. I'm gonna start looking for another match here, and then I'm gonna go to the bathroom here real quick. Let's see here. All right, time for round 2. Like even if we draw a land, We're still kind of in tough shape, and we need to hit running land drops. I don't think we can keep that hand. And this hand's just immediately worse. Okay. Oh, man. I don't think we can. Think we try it like this and see what happens. Hope we don't get run over by like mono red or something crazy like that. Goblins? We're just gonna say go and see what happens here. We do have an 0-4 blocker. Okay. Definitely should have done that differently, but oh well, you live and you learn. Environmental sciences is fine. Yeah, we definitely should have like divide by 0 before we let them attack there. Pump this up to 5. What is it? What's it have to get to flip? 7. Okay, so. Oh wow, we did not hit a land. That's crazy. All right, well, that is the last thing I expected to happen right there. But the good news is that we can kind of like turn this around a little bit here. We just have to. We'll probably just end up taking this here, honestly. Now that they've tapped out, we won't take it. 4, 6, 7, go to 10. Or obviously I miscounted somewhere along the way. Kill this. We gain 2 life. We get to get a mountain here. And then we have a 4/4 to block with, so we'll say go. Okay. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, so I'm just dead here? Yeah, it didn't matter how I blocked. Alright, you got lethal. Please show me more about your deck. I'm all about that. Wait, what? I don't know what just happened there. Alright. All these cards seem good. We can go down to 2 Alrund's Epiphany because taking turns against that, like, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say it's bad or anything, but we're going to leave in 1 because it is the namesake of the deck. We're going to leave in 2 Alrund's Epiphany because it is the namesake of the deck. Are you winning? We're 1-0, so I mean, lost that first game against Goblins, but I am 1-0 in the league so far. Oh, I think we got to keep this hand because if we draw into our lands here, we're good to go. Like, this has all the things we want. Okay, drawing a land is good. Drawing another land is even better. Okay. Deal 1 to it. Net 2 energy there. Feels pretty good. That's a good draw step. We get to slam that this turn, and then we can slam Anger of the Gods next turn. More than likely slamming Anger of the Gods next turn. Okay. We're not out of the woods yet, but Anger does help. Torch is pretty good. Alright. So we'll probably have to use Ether Gust strategically here to get rid of the Chandra. Interesting. I would have almost banked that you would have thought that was worth more protection from blue. We want that in our hand, that on the bottom, that over there. Alright, I think we don't actually have to deal with the Chandra. Hey, what's going on? Oh, Lord. Got him. I can see you. I'm looking right at you. Bryson. Boom, Bryson. There it is. Sorry, man. Whoop, whoop. We are going to Ether Gust that. Puts it on the bottom. Okay. Deal 2 to it. And then say go. Flip this. And then there's nothing to target, so it goes away. Puts that back in his hand. We get to kill Chandra here. Okay. Alright. Goblin Rabble Master. Okay. He does get to punch in for one. We get to punch in for 7. All right, I don't know what could happen here to like help us lose this game, but it'd have to be something pretty dramatic here. Yeah, okay. I was like barring them like ripping something crazy off the top, like. Oh my gosh, what just happened? Doo doo. 5-2 in the modern challenge with the exact 75. Win and pray that my breakers hold up. So Corey Baumeister's playing his winning in for the oh for the top 8 of the modern challenge. I feel like we want everything we have here. I don't feel like anything's better. Yep. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the whole divide by zero. Like I like the learn concept that comes on some of the cards that we have. I'm gonna keep this. They did not have a 1-drop, which is awesome. Awesome for us anyway. Means they probably just have some good like 2-drops and stuff. Opt into the turn. We'll put that on top, sure. Sulfur False, I go. On top of their library? Okay. It's interesting to note. So they have that Lord. Alright. Just gonna keep keeping their stuff off the board here. We have 3 lands in play. I think the exhibition might be better here. Like I like the concept of being able to like pad our life total with the environmental silences, but you should play Modern Monday, trying to get a big group. I can't this Monday, man. I'm sorry. I'm getting a haircut afterwards, and I told a couple friends I'd have dinner with them. Or I would. Sorry about that, buddy. Have you still been playing your mill deck? Hobgoblin, Bandit Lord, and Goblin Pile Driver. Puts those into his hand, I'm pretty sure is how that works. Alright, do that. We're keeping the board pretty clear here. Expressive Iteration's a good draw. Play Ether Hub, say go. We can hold up Ether Gust here. Honestly, we'll probably just end up... We'll probably just end up in a spot here where we are... okay. We go to 13. Did you put that on top or bottom? Puts Battlecry Goblin on the bottom. Okay. Put that into our hand, that on the bottom, that out to the side. I'm going to play this to make them think that I have something. I'd like for them to sweat a little bit, think about playing around, you know, another Ether Gust or, you know, honestly anything. Okay? So they're holding removal here is what I can tell. Play Hobgoblin Bandit. Play Mascot Exhibition. Make some tokens. All right, this feels pretty good. I'm hoping that they're going to walk into my Anger of the Gods here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. 3, 6, 8. So we'll be one short. So we're kind of in a weird spot where Anger won't actually do it. We're at 9. I don't really feel like we can attack with anything here. All right, let's see how they attack. Bump this guy back to your hand. Environmental Sciences. And then is there not a way out of this? Am I dead here? Is this 479 no matter what? Well, that sucks. So, yeah, because we have to use our divide by 0 there on the Lord, or we're just gonna die. Wait, what? No, it was just 3. So if I block there, I take 3, 6, 8. So I actually just miscounted and died. Because then I could have untapped, swept the board, played Environmental Sciences, and had, like, man, that sucks. I don't know that I would have won that game, but it would have at least given me a chance for something there. Well, 1-1. We played a close 3 games against Played a close 3 games against goblins there. I mean, I feel like that mono red like run you over quick is not the best. Probably not the best matchup. Let's see here. Well, 1-1. It could be worse there to start the league. And why am I getting so much frame loss today? There were a couple of games there that like were actually ended up being like pretty close games. I thought we might be able to like snag out of them, and see if there was like the first game we flipped the dragon and then we lost, um, and we were in a spot where had we tried we could have. We were in a spot where had we were like I think if we'd played a different spell or flipped it earlier or something like that, we actually would have been able to get out of it, but we weren't, unfortunately. So that's going to be one of the downfalls of me playing decks like this, is that I'm so used to playing like these like mono red beatdown decks that if you're watching me play stuff like this, um, it's not always going to be great just because I am an aggro player and not like a tempo-y mid-rangey player. So I apologize if you have to suffer. I imagine against Luris this is a good hand. Alright, Ether Hub's a good draw. So we'll play Sulphur Falls and say go. Wanted to pick up a third land. The use of energy hasn't really come up, but Harness Lightning is just a really good removal spell, so. Run out our thing in the ice here. Okay. Just gonna attack for 1, sure. Hopefully no Fatal Push here, but feels like there's a good chance of them having a Fatal Push. They could still have a Fatal Push here and just be using their Blood Chief's Thirst. Now, the good news is that we are getting the removal spells out of the way early. Hopefully, at least. We'll discard an Expressive Iteration. Use an Anger to get rid of that. Since we had a land drop, we don't need to play Expressive Iteration. Hopefully next turn we can play Expressive Iteration into hit a land drop, which will allow us to hold up Divide by 0. An untapped land. It does appear not, though. We'll put that in our hand, that on the bottom, exile that one, play Spiral Bluff Canal, play Thing in the Ice, and then say go. Not hitting a land there was pretty surprising, honestly. Yep. Now they're not putting a ton of pressure on us here. Okay. I'm interested that they did not attack for 1. We're going to foretell this. Hold up, divide by 0. Like they can't. They didn't cast their fame. I mean, to be fair, it would have gotten rid. Like it would have like gotten it out of the graveyard anyway. So it's not like it's really super relevant. Blue, blue, red, red, red. We don't have any more energy, but we have managed to stick a Niv here. Hopefully they don't have a way to deal with our Niv. Like the only thing they could have is being able to kick. I mean, I guess they have it in their graveyard. I wasn't even really paying attention to that. They can kick it, but we do get to draw a card off of it, so that's pretty cool. Cast Expressive Iteration. And now we will say go. All right. You're killing me here a little bit, but they've had more removal than I thought they would. Yep, we're going to discard Harness Lightning. Go to 10. I imagine they'll play Lurrus after combat and play Lurrus after combat and try to play Kroxa. We are going to divide by 0 the Lurrus. Take Mascot Exhibition. Cast Alrund's Epiphany. Say go. Attack for 2. Let's start putting the pressure on. They do have Fatal Push to help them deal with our 4/4. And Kroxa will be able to just give them a Lightning Bolt every turn. But hopefully we can try to turn the corner here a little bit. Like Glimmer of Genius would be a good draw here. Yep. We're going to Fatal Push our 4/4. Play Luris, play Kroxa, we go to 6. Yep. Well, we are flooding out quite a bit here. And we know we can't stop it, so we might as well just play our land. It's better than discarding it. Yep, we go to 3. I mean, I guess we can hold it and make them have a thought seize or something here. Like, yep. Okay. Not much we can do about that. That would have been good the turn before that. Oh, man. That would have been awesome. We could have put Smoldering Egg out to the side, put Anger of the Gods in our hand, and then played the egg and played Anger of the Gods. Yeah, that would have been really good. Soul Guide Lantern. Abrade, Anger. All of these seem good. Cut an Alrund's Epiphany. Need to cut 2 more cards. Divide by 0 seems like very okay. Yeah, it doesn't feel great in this matchup, so we'll try that. We'll trim those and try to run it back like that. This league's been on the longer side so far. We're looking at the 3rd game, and it's an hour and 3 minutes long. Sam feels pretty good. Multiple threats and Alrund's Epiphany, some lands. So hopefully we're looking at like a expressive iteration or something here, but I think I would rather them kill Smoldering Egg. So discard Thing in the Ice. Run out our other Smoldering Egg. If we can get these things flipped, both of these things, like we'll be rolling. I just finished messing with my Rugrats Commander deck. I hate Magic. It's so expensive to be back in. Dude, Magic is like probably the most expensive like thing like ever. Like I get it, man. It's an expensive hobby. That's for sure. We're gonna hang on to the Alrund's Epiphany because that card will single-handedly be able to flip the Smoldering Eggs in one shot. For 9 months, 15 days, and 20 hours. Man, I didn't realize I've been streaming that long, honestly. Really want to see lands or things that interact with their spells. So this feels like a village rights. Okay, so he's looking for cards. You can't play Kroxa yet. Fatal push for the thing in the ice. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we can play Kroxa next turn, which is fine. We're kind of just hoping it'll land drop, honestly. It's gonna fatal push one of our things, I imagine. I was like, I wonder if he is or if he isn't, just so he can have the idea of. That was a good draw step. That was a good draw step. I was gonna get hit anything that wasn't a land. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty glad it was that. Feels like now our opponent's just gonna village rights here to try and draw some cards. I imagine they are. Depends on what their hands looks like. If they don't village rights here, then it shows a really good hand. But them village rights, casting village rights here doesn't actually show that their hand is weak. I don't really play like a braid or anything, so I'm not like super worried about like running that out there. By Luris, okay. Okay. Well, we're not really getting any closer to casting our Alrund's Epiphany, but it's a lot of lands. With Menace, and it exiles a card from my graveyard, okay? You gonna kill my egg now? Oh, village rights? Okay. And you haven't killed the smoldering egg yet, so I imagine you're not going to. Just Luris. If it is, we're just gonna sack the Soul Guide Lantern. Beating a 3-2 with lifelink doesn't seem as bad as beating a 3-2 with lifelink that can buy back a bunch of cards, so. Yep, we go to 17. So he's gonna play Kroxa, make us discard this. Which is fine. Discarding Glimmer is actually not that bad here. Feels like he's going to fire up Hive of the Eye Tyrant here. I don't understand why you attack with Illyris here, personally. But all right, that's pretty sweet. Our dragon can't block the land anyway. God, can he animate both of those things? No, not quite yet. Does it? Because it costs 4, right? Yeah, okay, so we can't animate both of them yet. Exiling cards is fine. Not super worried about that. Untapped land, please. Deal 2. Put our opponent to 13. Take another turn. Expressive Iteration's a good start. We will put that into our hand, put the island on bottom, put the egg over there. Attack for 6, put our opponent to 5. Play the egg, say go. We have Harness Lightning at the ready. I mean, if they have like a Thoughtseize or some kind of discard effect here, like before they have to fire up their land, that'll be problematic. Okay. That's not ideal, but it's fine. Yep. Attack for 2. Now they do have another Hive of the Eye Tyrants, or Eye Tyrant, so there's not much I can do about that. Did that, return to Kroxa. That puts us to 6. That puts us to 3. So we're actually in a little bit of a tough spot here. Interesting. Cast Expressive Iteration. Red, red, red. I don't think there's any way we lose here, but God only knows what could happen. Expressive Iteration was really good into untapped land and Niv Mizzet. God bless. One of your last 2 cards was another Kroxa, and you're going to get to cast that one. That sucks. Well, man, that just sucks. Like, there's nothing we could do about it. Oh well. It's a little disappointing, but... And you're not going to show us what we were going to draw. Yeah, that says 0-2, but that was a lot closer than 0-2. That wasn't an 0-2. The scoreboard's an accurate representation game. Yeah, I don't know. That was tough. Like we just kind of got I don't know. Like we just lost to the Rakdos Kroxa deck. Like not much to say about it besides that. Hope they're playing a creature-based deck where we can kill all their stuff. Play that tap, so go. Play Smoldering Egg, say go. Feels like it's probably Phoenix, so they won't have a hard time dealing with the Smoldering Egg. Blue, oh, it's blue-black control. Alright, say go. Now, I'm pretty sure they play like Extinction Event and stuff like that, so... Cycle a Shark Typhoon that early in the game. I don't really know what that says, honestly, but... Okay. We get to put these triggers on the stack. Okay. Spin 0. I don't like Thing in the Ice and Smoldering Egg. Just give them the old dick twist. I feel like that's from something. I feel like I know that's from something. Dig through time? Okay. Would have been nice to have had a divide by 0 or a censor right there. Okay. Well, we're drawing the half of the deck that does not draw us any cards. Like it feels like we can't really draw like a good mix of spells here. Like we keep drawing removal or card draw. We can't have like a mix of both. Like Opt, Expressive Iteration, Glamour of Genius, any of those cards would be greatly welcomed here. All right. We'll cast Expressive Iteration. Curious to see if they'll counter it here. They have 7 cards and we only have 2. I was like, I would counter it in this spot more than likely, but I guess they have no way of knowing what the last 2 cards in our hand are. All right, so they left that on top. Fatal Push, okay. I'm kind of hoping that Niv Mizzet can help bail us out of this game. Like, that's kind of like our only hope at this point. I mean, we could cast Alrund's Epiphany here, but what's the point? They more than likely have a counterspell in their hand. Man. Okay. What are they doing here for 2 mana? Is it dig through time again? Yep. Alright, so our opponent has all the card advantage that we just don't have in our deck. Discard Heartless Act, okay. I mean, Divide by Zero is a good card. Gives us at least a piece of interaction, and if it resolves onto something... Or perm... Oh, gotcha. Interesting. Okay. So we need a way to tack on another energy here so that we can try to deal with this. Alright. Divide by Zero the Narset here. Take Mascot Exhibition. Opponent discards the Fatal Push. That's more than likely the one we knew about. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mana. Alright. We gotta try and get the Shark token off the field here. Okay. Now, this does give us an opportunity to draw into an opt or something here, and are they going to Fatal Push this and then just kill us? Yep, okay, never mind. We do not have that opportunity. Alright, well, feels like we're always just like a turn behind where we want to be here. Negate and Mystical Dispute. Soul Guide Lantern. I don't know. I can never decide if that's good enough or not in this matchup. I feel like it's probably got to be better than trying to play a bunch of removal spells. Those are here, so that's wrong. And then we'll run it like this. See what happens. We will keep this. This hand has a lot of good cards in it. A lot of things that we want to see, that we want to be doing, so... Cast Opt. Put that on the bottom. We're looking for lands. Foretell. Say go. Niv Mizzet will probably have to be that. Will honestly kind of have to be the card that carries us over the finish line here. Play Thing in the Ice. Play Soul Guide Lantern. Interesting. I don't think I had my draw step thing on, but we'll find out. Would really like to resolve Glimmer of Genius here. I think we're just going to go ahead and tap out here just to make sure we resolve it. We're kind of low on cards, so put that on top, put that on bottom. Okay. Alrin's Epiphany #2 was a pretty good pickup here. Yep, we go to 19. Cast Expressive Iteration. We'll cast our own negate here. Okay. Having a second Niv Mizzet there is actually pretty sweet. Because it allows us to just like arrogantly tap out for the first one we have because it doesn't matter. It's probably gonna kill our Thing in the Ice here. Interesting. Okay, our opponent's hand doesn't. How long are you playing for? I'll probably be on for a couple hours or something, man. I'm just kind of hanging out Saturday afternoon, so probably stream another deck after this, and then honestly probably get into a little bit of play a little bit of Vanguard later. Nope. Red, red, red. Blue, blue, blue. Can't be countered, and you have to have a serious removal spell to beat it here. So, feels pretty good. Okay. Curious to know what our opponent's looking at here with Dig Through Time to see like what they're thinking so in depthly about. We lost game one against our blue black opponent because they had all the card advantage we didn't. Um, okay. So Niv resolves. I mean, we knew it was going to resolve, but... Man, if they name Odd, then whatever. Like, cool. Not gonna kill their shark. Hopefully they don't have another sweeper in their hand. They consider a consider into the yard. We can also represent Mystical Dispute here. We don't have anything, but we do get to represent it here. Is this a sensor? Just a negate? Oh, it's for the mana you spent on it, not what you actually did with it. Okay. That's a little disappointing. Alright, main phase dig through time. So they can make a 3/3 here. Okay. He's looking for a fatal push, I bet. And I bet he left some number of them in. He had to leave some of them in because he knew I had them. Yep. Put one into my hand. This on the bottom. This off to the side. Attack for 2. We're just gonna play that and say go. If we happen to draw something like Alrund's Epiphany or something, like if we draw something like big mana, we can just play it. Now we have no way of beating a Shark Typhoon here, sadly. Like if they just cycle one, there's nothing we can do about it. Okay. Play another Smoldering Egg and say go. Okay. Consider. Watery Grave to the graveyard. We've cast 2, and I'm pretty sure we didn't take out... Let's see... We didn't take out any Alrund's Epiphanies, so... Drown in the Loch. Okay. We're just going to hold the land. There's no reason to play it here. This just feels like an impossible matchup. They have the removal that favors them. They have, like... They have the card draw, like the counter spells, like they have everything. Just feels like a better deck than what we're doing right now. And the fact that they're hard casting a Shark Typhoon should tell me all I need to know right now. Alright, we're going to pack this one in early. There's just no point in continuing to play on. We're drawing lands, and our opponent is like just drawing gas. Like again, I mean that's one of those matchups where it's like, what could I have done differently? Like played a better deck. Like just played a different 75. I don't know. Like maybe the divide by 0 like a learn package is a little too cute, like for Pioneer. I also feel like we shouldn't be on Thing in the Ice and Smoldering Egg after playing it. We should probably cut one of them. Probably cut Thing in the Ice and play. So honestly, the changes to make here, I think, are cut Thing in the Ice, cut Glimmer of Genius, and then play 4 Memory Deluge, and then play 4 like Censor or Jawari Disruption, whichever one seems better. Probably Censor, and then cut the Harness Lightnings and play 4 of the Dragon deal damage to creature card, whatever that called. That's probably the changes that should be made to this deck. Just off the top of my head after playing a few games with it. This hand feels pretty solid. We're going to keep this. Removal, card draw, threat, so... Our opponent mulligans to 6. Okay, Elvish Mystic. Anger of the Gods can be really good or really bad here. It just kind of varies. I think we're just going to slam Smoldering Egg here. And then hopefully we actually get to untap with Anger of the Gods here so that we can... do something like that. This feels pretty good. Okay, so we get to sweep up the board here. Our opponent's stuck on lands. And then Glimmer of Genius next turn will allow us to flip the egg here. Put that on top. Put that on bottom. Okay. Okay. And then we'll say go. Expressive iteration followed up by like Alrund's Epiphany might just be enough to end the game here. Oh boy. Not going to play the divide by zero. Put that on top. Okay. We will take environmental sciences. It can help us find our land if we need it next turn. All right, our opponent missing land drops there really favored us. I think that's red, right? Yeah, this is Naya Winota, so Abrade, Ether Gust. We only want to leave in 2 of those. We only want a couple glimmers. We'll cut a Niv as a too slow win condition. And honestly, we're probably going to cut a Smoldering Egg here because I think the idea of Thing in the Ice is better in this matchup. We just kind of we got pretty fortunate there with that playing out the way that it did. I don't know a lot about the new Winota deck, so I don't really know what they bring in. I think they play Spellbinder out of the side, and a couple of other things. So curious to see what all they bring in. Opt, Egg, Divide by Zero. We're gonna keep this one. It was like an undercard fight for or something, and someone was yelling it in the crowd. What? Bro, what? What are you talking about? Okay, plays the elf. Anger of the Gods is a very good draw step. Hopefully we don't have it picked from our hand. Duskwatch Recruiter? Okay. Okay, I'm also okay with that. Opt. Put that on the bottom. Alright, Moto. Moto Bug it is. Play the egg again. Say go. Um, they have no red, so we don't have to worry about them slamming Winota here. Hopefully they play something that just kind of gets bonked by Anger of the Gods. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, well, back-to-back Anger of the Gods on turn 3 against this deck just feels pretty good. And they're just going to concede. Okay, well, we finished that League 2 and 3. It feels like we're pretty well set up against decks that are like aggro decks, just like creature-based aggro. I know we lost earlier in the league to Mono Red Goblins, but that was also like our opponent was drawing pretty well, and Divide by Zero is not great in that matchup because Divide by Zero is good against somebody who's tapping out for something, but against somebody who's like trying to like play a bunch of one drops and like these like have these like really aggressively slanted turns, it's not great. Um, I think that I think I don't know. Like it's really hard because like you want to play Smoldering Egg and like the whole dragon synergy thing and Niv Mizzet really plays into that. And you could also slot some Glory Bringers or the treasure making dragon is really good in that spot. So it's hard to say what's best there. Um, I don't know. Like you could probably make some changes to this deck that would make it like an average 3-2 like 4-1 deck in Pioneer. I think Alrund's Epiphany is one of those cards that's really good. And I think it really plays well with Niv Mizzet. I'm just not sure what that combination of cards looks like. I think if you cut Thing in the Ice for sensors and you cut Harness Lightning for the Dragon Deal Damage card, and you cut Glimmer of Genius for Memory Deluge, um, and then maybe you play like two Divide by Zeros and like I don't know, like a couple of just actual counter spells. Maybe you end up with a better deck. Maybe Op's not good in this deck. Maybe instead of Opt, you want to be running some number of whatever the single blue hexproof plus O plus 3 thing is. I can't remember what that card's called, but it plays really well with Niv and it played really well with Smoldering Egg, and it would play really well with the dragon too, the treasure making dragon. So, but this was Izzet turns, Epiphany turns kind of thing. So take a small break, come back in a few minutes. Might play some Arena, might play some more Pioneer. I'm not really sure. If you guys want to see something, just hit me up in the chat and we'll see what we can put together. Thanks for hanging out today, though.